Today in the gospel reading, we hear the story of the calling of the apostles. Unfortunately, we don't know that much about many of the apostles. Some of them lived kind of obscure lives. We might know that one of them went to India and proclaimed the gospel there, and another one went somewhere else. But the details of their lives are pretty limited to what's in the gospel. But we can say for sure that God called and chose each and every one of them for a very specific purpose and endowed them with certain gifts that they would need. For example, Matthew, who was the tax collector, was a Jew. So when he wrote in ways that the Jewish people that were being converted into Christianity would understand. Paul was chosen because not only was he a Roman citizen, but he was studying under one of the greatest rabbis, Gamaliel, who existed at that time. And he understood Greek as well, so he could explain things in terms that the Greek people would understand, or the Greek-speaking culture, all of the philosophy and the richness of that language. Even the disciples that weren't apostles, like Luke, who followed after Paul and took notes. I'm sure that people were saying, why are you writing all this stuff down? But imagine what our Bible would be like without the Acts of the Apostles or the Gospel of Luke. He chose them for very specific reasons. Even Barnabas. St. Barnabas is the patron saint of encouragement. It's what his name means, Barnabas, the son of encouragement. He encouraged other people to accept Paul, who had been persecuting the Christians, to say, no, he had a true conversion. He's one of us now. And because of him, Paul was accepted in to the community of believers. And they listened to him and accepted him as a fellow apostle. Each and every one of us has been endowed with gifts. We may not think they're any big deal, but some of the humblest, simplest gifts, like the gift of listening intently, are some of the most powerful gifts that God gives us. The gift of being able to call someone on the phone and just listen to them, even though you know that they're going to drone on and on about their problems, or maybe you're calling somebody who's a widower or a widower and saying, how are you doing today? And let them talk about their husband or their wife who passed and reminisce. I had a friend whose girlfriend was dumped by her boyfriend, and they would go out on Saturday nights, and her friend would just complain the whole time about and cry and whine about her having lost her boyfriend and how she missed him so much. And finally, after a couple of months, she looked at my friend and she said, I can't believe that you listen to me tell the same old stories over and over and over again, and you never complain. And she said, that's because every time I hear you tell the story, there's a little bit less pain in it, and I know you're getting better. And if I can help in some small way, just by listening and nodding my head, then I know that I'm doing something for you. Maybe that no one else can do. Whether we're retired or in a nursing home or in grade school or in preschool, we all have special gifts that we can offer to God. Sometimes the most special of those gifts is our time and our prayers. It's not unusual for me when I go to anoint somebody in the hospital who may be dying, going off to hospice, to ask them to pray for someone who's come to me and asked for prayers, maybe a young person who's struggling. No matter what our station in life, there's always the opportunity to offer our gifts to the Lord. And if we can offer our little gifts to the Lord, who knows what he can do with them, to work miracles, even in our day and age. And when did we ever need more miracles than we do today?